So what training did you do to become a support worker?
Done 6 weeks of training in Gretton, and then I came to this house to do some course shifts. You got to read up about everybody, but you're constantly training anyway, because as this job you learn every day. There's something new that comes up that you've got to deal with, so it's just learning all the time, really.
How is working with people with PWS different from supporting people with other difficulties?
I used to work in a special school for children with learning disabilities. And they could have behavioural problems as well. But
I think where it differs is with the Prader-Willi Syndrome is that there is a focus on food, and learning difficulties don't always have those sorts of problems with food. I was having a conversation the other day, and for somebody with Prader-Willi Syndrome, they struggle every day, every moment. They always feel hungry, and it's on the television, it's on a billboard advert, it's in a magazine. Everywhere you turn, there are food adverts, and when somebody is constantly hungry, that must be really difficult. So we try to be sensitive in that respect, but when I've worked with a different client group, the food hasn't been the focus, so that is a big focus for somebody that's got Prader-Willi Syndrome. It's trying to change their minds, well, not change their mindset, but distract them from feeling the hunger all the time.
if you take them to the fair, take them to the seaside, it's all them smells of food and people are walking around eating all the time. So you've got to do your best to take the mind off it, you know, give them a different focus.
And I know here we treat people as people first, and Prader-Willi Syndrome is a generic condition that they all have, but each of the people that live here, they've got different variations of it, if you like. Some are real food focused, others are more challenging with their behaviour. So it's looking out for the person first, dealing with the Prader-Willi Syndrome second. That is like a secondary first here, isn't it? It's not a blanket approach, one fits all. We try to look at the person to help them out.
I mean, like, we encourage them to come in the kitchen. They have come down with me nights. That's where one of the supported individuals will choose a menu. They'll choose something that we go out and shop for it, we come back, we prepare it, we cook it, and we serve it. And it's a big buzz that day because it's a secret, no one's allowed to know what they're cooking. I love it. So, and you can imagine, like, your big thing's food, and usually it used to be the door was locked and you didn't get anywhere near it. Now we're encouraging them to come in and do the shopping for it and cook for it and have a little taste to see what it tastes like before you serve it, and then we mark them and they score it. It's just a brilliant thing we do.
Part of the food management.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. We try to encourage them, like we say, to come into the kitchen. It's like making the drinks there, and that years ago that was unheard of.
We sort of buddy them up, don't we? We give them a buddy.
Yeah. We try to do prep before as well, don't we? Because if we know somebody's coming, we'll probably go and take one of the supported individuals over to meet them, so they know somebody when they're coming into the home. Sorry, Diane, I just jumped
David's
in.
good, isn't he? He'll do a welcome sign for them and put it on the door. We take them out together with some of the other lads, so they get to know them on a better, like, one-to-one basis as well, which is good because it's nice for them to have a friend when they come here.
And you don't know them straight away, so we have to give some time to learning about them as a person, and learning about what their needs are, because they might not like everything that we do here, but it's up to that communication to take place, so we're understanding what their needs are and what their likes are, because they might have not liked it in their previous place, but when they come here and see how we do things here, they might change their mind. So we always give them that opportunity to change if they want to. So.
And what about if they've been living with their parents up until this point? Do some parents find it difficult?
I think it just depends case by case. You get some families that have been well supported by their local government, and they've been well supported by their families, and then you get others that have struggled and not had any support. So it just depends really, person to person. we're quite open and, you know, we try to support the families the best we can, and have that good communication between both.
Do you think sometimes the relationship might change
Sometimes.
with parents and their children when the children come to live in a service?
I think so. I think it's really difficult because we have some not strict rules, because that's not really a PC thing to say, but we do have boundaries. We don't want anybody smashing the place up if they're cross. It's okay to be cross, and they might think that they might be able to get away with that at home perhaps, or, you know, but as long as we're consistent and we explain to the families what we do here, then it's easier for the parents to then try and do the same sorts of things when they're at home. Some really struggle when they go home, don't they? And, you know, we're always at the end of a phone, even if they're really struggling and they can't calm down or there's a problem, we're only at the end of a phone. We can go and pick up if necessary, or we're there to offer support over the phone as well.
We always phone when the lads go home as well. We'll phone up the parents and to speak to one of the guys, whoever's gone home. But we'll phone up and see how they're doing, and we're all pretty close in here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what do you want for the people that you support?
What do we want? The most normal life that we can give them. You know, just we want what they want. That's what we want. We want to give them what they need.
Meaningful, fulfilled activities, lives, doing what they want to do, not what the blanket approach says that they have to do. You know, one's doing that, you've all got to do it. It's all given choice, and we listen, we actively listen. Everyone can say, oh, I'm listening to you, and they're thinking about what's going on, but when you're actively listening, we're showing them that we're actively listening. I think that's important.
Because like our lads self-medicate, and we've encouraged them to self-medicate. They count their own monies, they put the entries on the finance sheets.
They absolutely love it, don't they? Any jobs go up on the notice board and they're there applying for them. They all want to do it, don't they?
Last year we arranged a Hollywood event, a Hollywood extravaganza, we called it, and the boys hosted it, and they were given a table to look after, and they went and give the drinks and the food out, and they loved it.
They absolutely loved it.
Do you feel it's beneficial for people with PWS to live together?
I think so.
Definitely, yes.
Because they're more understanding of each other's needs as well, I think.
And they all kind of get it, if that makes sense. They all it's really difficult to put into words. We all have dinner at the same time. Nobody's allowed to just wander in the kitchen unsupported. Even though there are different levels of support, there always has to be somebody in the kitchen. That is always paramount. And I think that they help each other, don't they? Some get on each other's nerves. It's like if I'm living at home and I have an argument with my son or whatever, it's because I live with him. It's the same here, isn't it? They sometimes bicker and there's sometimes arguments, but they would all look out for each other, I've no doubt on that. And I think it's a family for them. And they are just thrown in at the deep end and expected to get on with whoever they're living with. So that part would be difficult, but I think on the whole it's beneficial.
They're quite protective over the staff as well.
Yeah.
Because we did have one individual that had moved here and he'd shout at the staff, and the boys would all rally, no, don't talk to them like that, and they'd stick up for us as well.
Yeah, they're very kind, aren't they? They do look out for us. Yeah, they might not agree with us all the time. No, we say that that's absolutely fine, because I'm not happy about everything 100% of the time. So we encourage, you know, if you're not happy, tell us, we can do something about it.
And what's been the highlight of your work here, something that you're particularly proud of?
There's loads of things. There's loads of things
How
that we
could you
do
pick
here.
just one, Diane?
There's just loads of things that we do here to enhance the boys' lives here. Holidays, when you take them on holidays, trips out that they really enjoy and they've chosen, and like when we have parties here, because we are a busy house, aren't we? We do loads. But when we arranged for one of the guys to go to a hotel overnight with his girlfriend, because that's one of the things that he always wanted to do, to be able to help him achieve that, it just gives you a buzz. It's just
A simple one was we had an individual that he still lives here, and he hadn't got any independence, had he to go out in the community, and we got a letter, and I said, would you go and post this letter? And he went down the stairs, and the post box is probably 200 yards, and we all stood we were all in tears, because it was his face. He was so chuffed that he got that independence to just, we were all a mess when he got back, bless him, but he absolutely loved that, and it's doing things that they absolutely love, and it's meaningful. It's not just we're doing it because it's a paper exercise, we're doing it because we love it and they love it, and they get so much from it. It's just, you can't put it into words, can you?
So as long as you can put a smile on the face, that makes me happy every day. If you put a smile on the lads' face, you do something that they really enjoy doing. Tony he was trying to organise a holiday around camel trekking, and I said to him, I'm sure we can do that in this country. Jacob's amazing camels it was in Warwick, and we took him there. But the smile on Tony's face, and Tony's quite hard to please.
He is sometimes.
But the smile on his face when we came off that, he was like, it's awesome.
They weren't so thrilled about cleaning them out beforehand.
No.
That was part of the deal. They had to clean them out, or they had to partake in knocking them out, and they weren't too pleased about that.
It was a full day. It was a full day, but
they loved it. They did.
But they were out on the camels for 2 hours, and that was another achievement for Tony, because it's something he's always wanted to do. So that's what it's all about.